All right, so the first thing you want to check is that all of your flaps are folded upwards. So we want them folding up and sticking up. So for example, this is my artwork and the flap is folding up. So here's an example of what it should look like. I know I didn't fill mine out just yet. Hopefully yours is filled out. Artwork, tabs are folded up. Okay, then we are going to stick them all together like this. And the first way that we are going to do it is we are going to stick two together like this. So I want you to go ahead and pause the video and just push two pieces together and then just connect these two together. So I already did it, but all I did is I put glue on the tab and I kind of pushed them together, and then once it's felt even, I kind of went like this and that, and now here's what I have. So pause the video and go ahead and just connect two of them. All right, so you have these two together, and I want you to pick one to be the center, and it doesn't matter because this is going to be a ball and it'll move around, but just for now, pick one to think of as your center, and I'm going to pick this one. So I'm going to make a flower petal, and this is my center, and so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it so that I have 5 around the center. So center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is my flower. So you can see that it kind of looks like a flower. I know it's zoomed in right now, so you can't see the whole thing, but yep. And here's what to keep in mind when you glue this. Don't worry about having it all fit right now. So for example, I'm gonna glue just this flap and this flap like that. Don't worry about this. Just leave it there. So just do this flap and then leave it, and leave this page, the fast changes, leave it alone. Then I'm just gonna come in and glue this part and this part and this part. So I'm only gonna glue 1, 2, 3, 4 sections right now. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm gonna fold this one down so I can get some glue on it. And a glue stick will work better than regular glue. And then I'm going to fold, or I'm going to line these two up, that, and then just stick them together. And then I like to fold down to connect it. So now I have this. Okay, and I'm not gonna worry about this. I'm not gonna try to connect everything at once. I'm just making my flower. All right, so I'll do these next ones pretty quickly here. And I would suggest after you watch this part, pause the video and then go try it instead of watching the whole video, because then the steps will all jumble together and we're really just doing one step at a time. So let's see here, I'm almost done with this part. So there we go. There's one, and I have one more. All right, so I want you to pause the video, keep it on this screen because then you can just look at this picture, and you are just gonna make 6 of them into a little flower like that. Okay? Now I want you to take this flower and put it aside. Don't use it for a little while. We're gonna set it aside. And we're gonna do the exact same thing again. So take another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I know that some of mine aren't colored, but just to show you how to put it together. Pick one to be the middle, so doesn't matter, really doesn't. I'll pick this one, and I wanna make sure my flaps are folded up like that. And the nicer they're folded, the easier it'll be. And then I'm going to put my petals around it. But let me do one at a time here. So I'm just gonna start with one. fold this down and put some glue on it. And I only need to put glue on one. I'm not putting glue over here too. Then I like to fold them both and line them up like this. Push them up and then fold it to the right, fold it to the left. There we go. I decided this one would be my center. So now I'm going to lay this out and I'm going to put the rest of them around it. Give me a sec here. So I'll put one here, and I'm not trying to close this gap. I'm not trying to fit everything right now. I'm just trying to make a flower petal. That's it. So one there, two. See how this one I folded the flaps down instead of up? I'm just going to go ahead and fix that real quick. Make sure they're folded the right way so that it's easy once I start assembling. Okay. 4 and then 5 will go here. And I'm just going to do the same thing. So at the end here, I should end up with another flower petal that looks just like the other one. And if you're wondering, it doesn't matter if things are upside down. So like deposition's over here and weathering's upside down. And this one's up this way and that one's that way. It doesn't matter. Because it's going to make a 3D object anyways that you can move around. Okay. All right, so I'm still folding one of mine. I want to make sure I like the way that it's folded and the way that it feels. All right, so if you want to watch this part, you can. But you can also just pause the video and go give it a try. But here I am just gluing these petals onto my deposition one, which I chose as my center. Left, right, nope. Okay, I'm almost done. So now I have 2 flower petals that look the same, or flowers. I have this one, and then I have this one, and now I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so for this next section, we want to just go in real quick and make sure that we have a good fold here. So I'm just checking, we're going to be doing this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and I just want to make sure I like the way it's folded. And I have a good crease because it'll make it really easy for me. And then we are just going to do one at a time. And as we do it, it's going to start turning 3D. And it's going to feel pretty intuitive, which means you'll be able to feel it. So when I pick it up and I do these 2 flaps, it's just going to kind of come together, and just worry about the flap you're doing. And let the rest of the ball do whatever it's going to do. So if I'm just gluing these 2 flaps, I'll put a little glue on there and I'll just do these 2. And it's gonna pick, you're gonna pick it up and it's gonna start becoming a ball. And then when I do these 2, I'm just gonna let these 2 do what they wanna do, and the rest is starting to follow. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll see if you take your time, it's easier than it looks. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna do this one. And you can't sandwich it together. You can't go like this. You can't close that gap. You have to pick it up. You have to get it up off the table, and then they'll fall together. So I'm holding it with one hand, and now I'm going to take my other hand and hold it, and now I can let go. I just had to pick it up. And now I'll take the gluey ones and just stick them together. And I'll just do the best that I can. There. And then I'm not going to squish it down because it's 3D now. But I can just kind of make sure it's glued there. So now I've kind of picked it up and it's not flat anymore. It's like a little circus tent. Now I'll do this one. So same thing where I need to pick it up. And then once it's picked up, I can just push them together there. And I'm just looking at the top here and trying to keep it pretty even. And I might not do it completely perfectly, and that's okay. There we go. Okay, so now we'll just keep going. And if you're wondering what to glue, you can see it. Like, for example, there's nothing over here to glue, so I'm not doing that tab right now because there's nothing over there. But when I pick this up, watch what happens to this. When I pick it up, this one is gravitating towards that one because they want to be together. So that's the one that I'm going to do. So as you pick it up, it's going to start turning into a ball, and then you can use that to help you see which ones need to go together. And this is my last one. This one, let me show you. This one's going to glue here and here. So this is my last one. You can see it's making a basket. So come through and connect this one and this one. So if I flip it upside down, it looks like a basket. Okay, and this is half of the ball. So now I want you to pause the video and take your other petal flower and do the exact same thing. And you can rewind this video if you want to see it again to help you, and it will be the same process. Okay, now we have two of these. They look like baskets. And I am just going to take this one and set it on top. And if it feels like it doesn't fit right away, that's okay because we haven't glued it. So it's going to feel a little flimsy at first, but it'll come together, don't worry. If I put this on top, it kind of fits on there, but I'm just going to start with two of the flaps. So maybe I'll start with these two. So these two fitting in there. And so I'm going to put glue here and here, and then I'm going to stick my dome, my other half, on top of it. So I'm just sticking a little glue on here. Okay. And then I'm going to put this, so this part is pointing downwards. I've got two flaps that'll fit right into that crease. And don't worry about the rest. The rest is gonna kind of, it'll feel like it's collapsing or it's in the way or something's happening to it. And we just kind of let it be. Just let it be. And just work on the tabs that you're working on. And the rest will come together in time. So I'm gonna stick these two tabs together. So one here and here. Squeeze them for a few seconds, get them nice and glued, and then these two. So bring this guy over. And then I'll stick these two tabs together. So I've got two of them here now, and then I'm just going to keep going and I'm going to go around the circle. So now I'll do this tab with this tab, and you'll see just how it starts to come together. So I'll put some glue right here. And I'm going to drag this guy over. I have to really move it to get it to go, to match it up. Matching up the lines there, and then I fold. Now I'll come do this section right here. And you just have to be super patient and do one tab at a time. And so again, I have to pull this over here like that, and I'm going to line it up on the crease there and then fold it. And I didn't line that one up perfectly, and that's okay. Now I'll do my next one. So this is where I am now, where I have a few left. And so I'm just going one at a time. So I think this one is ready, and I'm just taking my time and I'm gluing each one, and we can see the ball starts to come together. So I take these two and line them up like that, and then I fold the flaps, squeeze them, and I'm moving it around and rotating it so that it's easiest for me to work on it, so that the flap that I'm working on is closest to me, and so that the flap that I'm working on is easy for me to work with. So I have two more, and I'm going to reach in and grab this one and kind of pull it out. And I'm almost finished here. So get some glue on this one. Line it up there. Now something I notice as I go, if I don't have completely everything lined up, sometimes there'll be a hole in the middle, and if I focus on this part lining up here, if there are little gaps here in the corners, that is not the end of the world, that's okay. But I do want to glue it here in the middle and just make sure I can at least connect it. And then if there are little gaps or wrinkles, then that's okay, especially for your first bloom ball. All right, last one. I'm gonna put some glue on here. So I'm gonna put my hand underneath this so I can access it and get that glue stick on there. And then that's my last one. And now I have my bloom ball all finished. If you want, you can have a parent help you tape a piece of string to one of these flaps too, if you want to hang it up.